In this video, we will cover Oracle Linux Proc file system. For our objectives today, after reviewing this video, you should be able to describe the Proc file system, list the top-level files in Proc, list the process directories in Proc, and lastly, you'll be able to explain the Proc sys directory. The Proc directory hierarchy consists of files that provides information about system hardware and processes. These files provide insight into kernel operations, and those with the right permission can be modified to change the kernel configuration. It is named after its original purpose, which is an interface to the structures within running processes to support debugging tools. Linux adopted this from Solaris, but also added the interface to the kernel. The Proc file system became quite messy over the years, therefore the sysfs file system was created to clean it up. Proc can be called a virtual file system because the files within it are virtual files. There's a great deal of information available from these files, but most show zero size when listed. In addition, most of the files are updated frequently. Virtual files such as proc interrupts, proc meminfo, proc CPU info, and proc devices provide a view of the system's hardware. Others, such as proc file systems and the files under proc sys, provide information about the system's configuration and allow this configuration to be modified. The following are examples of top-level files in Proc. Proc buddy info provides information for diagnosing memory fragmentation. Proc cmd line lists parameters passed to the kernel at boot time. Proc CPU info provides CPU information. Proc crypto provides information about installed cryptographic ciphers. Proc devices lists the name and major device numbers for all currently configured character and block devices. Proc DMA lists the direct memory access channels that are currently used. And then proc exec domains lists the execution domains for binaries that the Oracle Linux kernel supports. The Proc directory contains directories with numerical names. These directories are named after a program's process ID and contain information about that process. The owner and group of each process directory are set to the user running the process. Each process directory contains several files including cmd line is the command issued when starting the process. CWD is a symbolic link to the current working directory for the process. environ is a list of the environment variables for the process. FD is a directory containing all the file descriptors for a particular process. Maps is a list of memory maps to executables and library files associated with the process. Root is a link to the root directory of the process. And then finally, status is the status of the process in a more readable form than stat or statm. Other directories within the Proc directory group similar information by topic. The following is a partial list of these directories. Proc bus contains information about buses which are present. The presence or absence of actual devices affects what information is available with the Proc bus hierarchy. Proc driver contains information about drivers. Proc fs contains information about file systems. The proc net file is a symbolic link to network parameters and statistics. And then finally, proc SCSI provides information about SCSI devices. Proc sys provides system information and allows you to enable, disable, or modify kernel features in real time. Kernel settings can be changed by modifying files that have write permission. The echo command is used to change proc sys file values. Other files contain binary or Boolean values. A value of 0 represents off or false. A value of 1 represents on or true. Changes made by using the echo command are not persistent and are lost upon system reboot. To make configuration changes persistent, add them to files created in the sysctl.d directory. Let's explore the proc file system. Use the ls command to display the contents of the proc directory. Use the ls command to display entries without numerical names. View the meminfo file to display information about RAM. View the CPU info file to display information about the processors used by your system. View the devices file to display information about the various character and block devices currently configured. View the Proc XFS directory to display the XFS file system currently configured. Run the change directory command to explore process directories in the Proc file system. Use the ls command with -d and 0 through 9 as arguments to display only the directories in Proc with numerical names. Next, show that one process directory exists for each process running on your system. And finally, use the ps command, which produces one more entry due to the column headings. As you can see, the column headings increases the count by 1.